Lisa Anton, and we're pussycat free today.
I am very jealous that you have an entire mug of steaming
I
coffee.
will trade with you because I've made it so we can both drink it.
No, it's all right.
It's oh no.
I don't want extra caffeine today. I'm already. I have to say, I've been warning people that I'm feeling a little bit better. Knock on wood. And that's when things get dangerous, you know. Like yesterday, I was
coming like a bloody whirlwind.
Well, yesterday I was in this shop, and Danny and Jen and Linda were all there, and I was like, "I'm very excited. We're gonna get so much done. We're gonna do this and this and this and this." And they were all like,
"Oh God, no! Run! Save yourselves! Save yourselves!" That's it. But no, we got lovely.
I did eat
people.
some food yesterday that wasn't organic. I
know.
ate regular pizza from one of the pizzerias, and I just, I love New York pizza. I really, really do, but
shouldn't have done
it doesn't love me.
Maybe eat it too. Good morning, Wendy. Hello, how are you?
It's not the gluten, because we eat organic bread with no problem. Yeah. It's the pesticides, the
glyphosate.
Today I feel all my knuckles and my elbows and my knees and my back. Everything just hurts. So I won't be quite as zippy the pinhead when I get to work today.
Well, yeah, it might be. Good. Oh, goodness, there's lots of people joining us on the Tube of You. Yay! So good morning all. Yes, good morning, Wendy. Good morning. I assume that's Brenda.
Shauna, I just want you to know Gilda. I put the Books of Shadows out for sale yesterday. So I've got them marked up.
Good morning, Kim.
Shauna was very, very generous. One of them, the money is going to go to Celtica.
Oh, bless.
And the other one is for... Speaking of. We've been doing some more research looking at comps, because I don't know if anybody's had the pleasure of trying to purchase a property, but whenever you're going to purchase a property, there's these things that you have to do called comps, where you have to find a similar property. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's tricky.
See what it listed for and what it actually sold
What it actually sold
and it has to be within a certain area of where your property is that you want to buy is located. So, us, we're unique, just like everybody else. So, of course, the Celtica property, there's nothing like it.
and truthfully, it's a little overpriced.
We think it's probably double the price that it's actually going to appraise for.
So that makes it, if we, because we thought, well, why don't we just bite the bullet and get a mortgage, and put the cart before the horse kind of thing, which is a bit scary, because it's going to take us several years, seriously, to actually establish everything that we need to, because it's far from like what you would class as one of these turnkey operations. It's got to be built from the ground up, and that means bringing people in.
The water treatment and the roundhouse and the well house and this,
But that doesn't worry us at all. We don't worry about that. The biggest thing is, you don't want to actually lose your damn shirt whilst you're doing that as well. I mean, we still have a responsibility of keeping a roof over our heads.
Well, I think also the reason we're still in business is because we don't get duped easily. So we're not going to pay double for something just because. Just
because it's the perfect location, the perfect place. I mean, realistically also, a large swathe of that property floods in New Paltz. New Paltz is in a floodplain in the Walkill River. Which is
so it's unusable.
Yeah, and I bet that's probably somebody getting in touch now about comps. I just knew they'd probably call as soon as
I didn't give them that number. I gave them my cell number.
I don't know where they get this from. It's like people know we're on air or something. It's all good. But so part of the process when you're doing this, and it's also part of the negotiation process, is you will go and you'll find comps and you go, well, look, realistically, you're not being realistic with the price here. This property, certainly 181 Huguenot Street, is seriously incumbent. It is not the ideal property from a multi-millionaire's point of view, because the house is too close to the road. You don't have sufficient privacy. And it's a small, old
Victorian. And if you're a millionaire, you want to build your dream home.
Oh, you want everything, don't you?
You can't build it.
You want a place for staff and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure, So we're not quite in that league.
I love living in an old Victorian. Believe me.
Yes.
And 180 is got fantastic.
Oh, it's old, but it's got a lot of activity this time of year. Our doorbell, we recently.
This is a riot.
We're going sideways here, but
this is supposed to be Friday. Fantastic.
We can talk about anything. Can't we?
Yes, there seemed to be someone who pitched a tent in the old dumpster spot next door, and that vacant lot has had a lot of graffiti.
Yeah, a lot of damage.
We decided that we'd put up a few more outdoor cameras just to, to be on the safe side.
Prevention is better than cure, as the saying goes.
So yeah, we put up one of those doorbell things that you can talk through and lights up the porch, and we keep being alerted at like 1 a.m. that there's somebody on the porch, but of course there's nobody there.
We hear things because it's got a microphone, which is really cool. You can actually hear what's going on, and there's weird noises, but
on the porch, but
there's certainly nobody visible to our eyes that we can see.
But that's just we're used to that kind of thing. So.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I mean, you had to have the alarm system changed, didn't you? Part of the detectors.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day, that it had to detect body heat of 80 degrees or more. But anyway, so what we thought we'd talk about, we've talked a lot about our past and how we got here and how we met and the things that we do, and we thought we'd talk a little bit about our plans for the future, right? Please excuse me.
You're allergic to me. That's what it is.
It's probably allergic to coffee, which really
no, that would suck.
Anyway, so what we've done is...
Good morning, Erin. Happy Friday.
Made the best of this COVID time that we could, right? I mean, the store was closed for 4 months, which for me is absolutely unheard of.
It was scary. Scary.
Our store has been open 7 days a week.
Better part of 30 years. Frankly.
Well, when I was doing it all by myself with 2 other readers, I was closed on Sundays because I needed 1 day to run my household and take care of everything
Cook your
else.
food for the week or whatever,
and I was also in a very difficult relationship that was very demanding and not a partnership, let's say.
What, like me, you mean?
Not like you. There's nobody like you. But after I got divorced in 97 and we moved to the 180 location, we've been open 7 days a week. And I wouldn't say that I'm a workaholic, but I'm always planning. I've always got my senses out for the next thing and how best to help people and how best to move forward and do what we're doing. So being closed was really scary, but we reinvented ourselves through that and survived.
Kudos to you,
right?
You did. Awesome.
But now we have plans for the future, and we're not young people, but we're not old people.
We're not exactly decrecit either.
We're going to probably be working for at least another 20 years, maybe a little more.
I don't think I can retire for that.
Goddess willing.
I could probably retire at about 180.
So we're on a campaign to take us to the next step, to build our business, right? So 2023 will be our 30th anniversary in business. So this coming 2022 is our 29th year.
Wow.
And 2023 is our 30th year in business. So
we should have a little badge or something.
Oh, we're going to do it up. We're going to have a great party. And we'd love to have that great party with Celtica.
Yes.
As part of our collection of positive things.
We've shared with you. That's our end game. That's what that's our life's purpose, I guess. To establish this place where we can teach the old, almost lost skills, where we can have people reconnect with nature, where we can instill in people a sense of responsibility to the planet and respect for all living things. Anyway, I'll get off me soapbox.
So what we've done over the past couple of years is double the inventory in the store. Well, more than double actually, with the idea that we would be expanding, that we would either have another store in another location,
right,
to generate revenue towards Celtica, or we would have an all singing, all dancing website and social media thing. So we've done our scouting, we've done our looking, and we kind of think that another store in another location may not really give us the traction that we're looking for.
Yeah, may not be you've got to assess everything.
Right.
You don't know until you've looked. You don't.
And we really want to get some traction, We're certainly not afraid of having another store in another location. I mean, you understand, for 10 years
we commuted.
2 stores in Shropshire.
It wasn't too bad. We only got, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but before Lisa and I got together, and before I actually hung up my own shingle and started working for myself, the last job I actually had working for the man, if you will, and it was a great job. Don't get me wrong. I loved the company. I loved the people. I loved what I did. It was super interesting, but I was on my ass in a car for 5.5 hours a day. Right. A day.
Commuting. Yeah. So we commuted to England 1 day a month.
It was nothing.
Back.
That was.
But it was great because we were truly off on that day. We were sat in a seat being served food because, of course, we had enough free flyer miles to sit first class.
Yeah.
In fact,
we got to travel up front.
People in Birmingham knew us by our first names, and we were always 1A, 1B.
That was about it. Yeah.
So that was our day off, and we traveled. And then, of course, when we were here, we lived above the shop, so we didn't put out any carbon footprint to speak of. So, you can do your best. But we're not afraid of hard work, and we're not afraid of commuting or having a store in another area. But it just doesn't seem like that's going to be what we want to do. We don't want to split ourselves.
Yeah.
So what we've decided to do now is really put time and effort and energy into a web store overhaul.
Yep, really ramp up our online presence overall.
And we're going to do a little bit of remodeling at the New Pulse store and make the basement into a shipping center and really focus on our monthly subscriptions and building the web business. So if you know anybody who's not afraid of hard work and who would like to have a very Gemini sort of job.
It's going to be one
day
seriously interesting job.
One day you might be out on the road shooting video with us, and the next day you might be
cleaning chickens. I'm not kidding. And anything from full stack web development to shoveling crap out the bottom of the chicken cage. And really being like a right hand.
If you want to be our assistant
thing,
we're looking to hire somebody who wants quite an education, but we are going to be very picky. We don't care how old the person is, we don't care young. What gender the person is, or how
you identify. Doesn't matter.
It's going to be about attitude and fortitude, because sometimes we do these things called endurance days.
Oh, and don't we?
Where
we forgot to eat.
Oh yeah, did you have lunch? I don't know. So we're basically looking to hire a mini us, one person to be like a mini us.
Well, we don't expect you to be both of us because I think that would do somebody in. You'd be amazing. You would have to be a Gemini, wouldn't you? You'd be completely conflicted because we have a completely different approach to things sometimes. So we do have our moments. Some people are saying some ridiculously sweet things about us.
And a completely different skill set, really.
Well, we do. But I take my hat off to you because you do stuff I couldn't even fathom, I couldn't fathom. I mean, you can see... I'm a bloke, for God's sakes. I mean, and I'm a bloke from Birmingham. I mean, I'm not exactly tasteless, but I don't do
Aquarian and crazy, but I'm very detail-oriented. And very organized.
But you can make a... I don't know if you guys have seen the pottery video and the time-lapse of Lisa, like, just putting the wall together. You wouldn't believe how much she messes with it to make it just so. But we keep saying this all the time. You get one chance to make a first impression. And... every single day, and I'm not fibbing to you, it's a first impression for somebody walking into our store because there's so many people going, I never knew you were here.
The detail. But the person we're looking for, we would share our merchandising skills and our video editing skills and all the things that we do. We would share that information and training, but the person would need to witch up, to man up.
Witch up. You got to witch up.
To really be on, and not...
this is
we don't
not
like
a
people who are downers,
job.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't want somebody who's like, oh, that's too hard, or I can't do that. We don't want, I can't, I don't.
If you're a person who has a problem for every solution, please don't apply. we want somebody who can go, hey, how hard can it be, right? Let's figure this out. We haven't got a clue what
What's
we're
our
doing.
critical path analysis?
How do we get there?
Right.
Not so, oh, that's too tough, that's too hard, that's ridiculous. Oh no, that'll never work. No, sorry, you stay your own end of the ballroom. We'll do it differently. Thanks.
Right. So we're kind of putting that out there, and we're just trying to manifest just the right person.
We will, and we'd like. I mean, when there's somebody, Lisa and I were working, or was it Wednesday we were in all by ourselves? I think it was after,
Wednesday,
the video. Yeah, it was. It wasn't yesterday, because yesterday was Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm losing plot of the time here. It happens to me all the time. So Wednesday we were working by ourselves. We did an iron day, and we'd been out quite early that morning as well to do a video shoot as well.
Next video that we're going to put out. Yeah.
And we had the customers that came in were so complimentary to everybody who looks after them so well in our store. So we've got a beautiful, beautiful family of people, and it really is a family. It's not, we don't see people as employees. We don't see somebody as a clock number. We don't see, we want to know, what about you, child of promise? What's your story? Where do you come from? We want to know your hopes, dreams, and aspirations. We want to share in your experience. This is us, and you would need to fit into that kind of like,
oh, it's definitely
crazy,
a family.
Mad, somewhat slightly dysfunctional family. I will say that.
Oh, we all have dysfunction. Yes, but everybody's got their own little quirks and works in their own way. And I will say though that I'm trying not to blow my own horn, but I'm very good at finding someone's strengths.
Me too.
And helping them to grow, rather than just push people through their weaknesses.
I think that is a commonality with us, that we look at somebody and we say, hey, you're really bloody good at this. You may not think you are, but let's look at how we can even make you better. And that's what we do. We both very inspirational people. I mean, we're professional counselors in a respect.
Right.
I mean, people come to us
and we
for
have
counsel.
Interesting stories too. Don't think that we have had the easiest lives.
Neither of us was born with a silver spoon.
When we're talking about ourselves, I was raised with a tremendous amount of love, but we were absolutely dirt poor. Our parents, 3 of the 4 of them would turn 100 in 2022. They were war babies. Mm-hmm. They served in the military during the war, and my dad would be 105. So they were children of the Depression, and they knew not to waste. But we had very little. We had nothing, really. A roof over our head, and sometimes very meager food. And again, I told you that my eldest brother had grand mal seizures.
Bless him.
And our house burned down when I was 6. And, all those things, when you look at the impact of all of those things on a child, I could just be like, oh, I'm traumatized.
You could.
Oh, I have PTSD. Oh, blah, blah. Well, I could live that way. I'm not saying that those things aren't real.
Let's just wind that back. There really are people out there who are suffering with genuine problems. So
absolutely.
Please, we're so not trying to...
Oh, no, don't belittle anyone.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is...
looking for...
What I'm trying to say is, if you only look at that is where you will stay.
That's what defines you.
Do I still have worries? If we have a fire in the fireplace, of course I'm going to say to Anton, I can't go to bed till I'm sure it's perfectly safe, because in the back of my head I think, well,
of course, yeah.
It certainly didn't burn down from a fire in the fireplace. That was another circumstance. But what I'm saying is, you need to get past it.
You have to.
If you stay the victim of that circumstance, you're going to stay. Somebody said to me, well, you just tell everybody, suck it up, buttercup. And I don't just say, suck it up, buttercup. But I do say, do you want to lay down and get run over? Or are you going to stand up and fight for your life? Mm-hmm. What do you want out of this? And, you just can't give up. You can't label yourself, I'm a victim. I suffered through this. I have PTSD. I'm this, I'm that. I'm all these negative things.
That's the energy you're aligning with at that point, to be fair.
So my life was pretty crap up until the point that I got divorced, to be honest, right? I mean, I was raised very poor. I was working like a dog. My mother died when I was young. I had to take care of a household. I was working 80 hours a week. I had a very difficult relationship. There was all kinds of things that I could have just been like,
you could have
screw this.
Could have done. But I would also say, from what you've told me about experiences you've had, as a young person with friends or with your dad or your mum or what have you, you've related so much to me that I would say it didn't completely suck. It certainly couldn't.
No, we had so much love and extended family. And
there are some things you could really hang on to and say, this is why I have to suffer like this, and you don't.
That's the point.
You absolutely
you don't have to stay there and suffer. You can look forward. And I'm not saying you can pretend that things didn't happen.
God, no.
They've molded you and shaped you and helped you build your foundation. Don't ever think that you can completely erase some tragedy or horrible thing out of you completely. It's part of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But you can choose to use it as something to strengthen you, or you can choose to use it as something that will destroy you.
I mean, so many people blame themselves for things that are not their fault, and they wind up carrying this guilt around, which is unfounded, to be honest. But they then become almost this self-fulfilling prophecy where they, all of the bad things that happen in my life are because of this. But I would respectfully say, with the greatest love in the world, if you actually go back and look, what are you looking at? What are you focused on? Where are you going? If you spend your entire life looking backwards, over your shoulder, you're going to fall down some crevasse somewhere. You really are.
Try to think too about, like Anton was reminding me, think about the joyous moments. And many times we find we do that when someone passes away, and we're grieving.
It hurts.
We tend to remember the very good of that person and not all the negative things of that person. So if you were, now I had a wonderful relationship with members of my family, but not everybody has that pleasure either. You could have all the money in the world and a horrible relationship. But when that relationship is finished, you tend to remember the good stuff and not all the bad stuff. Anyway, I'm just trying to say it could be a very positive life if you want it to be. And plan ahead, look ahead, believe in yourself, right? Believe in yourself. Don't think, oh, I could never have that, or I could never be that, or I could never do that. Because that's exactly what you've spoken into being.
Yeah, you put yourself some serious glass ceilings in the way.
But we've gotten way off track today.
Oh, no, but people are joining in there. I love that. I'm just loving... I know I don't want to interrupt Lisa when she's chatting, because she'll just give me a swift kick if I do. But you guys are so complimentary to us, and I just love the way that, you guys are sort of grokking it and saying, you learn from those life experiences.
Absolutely.
And, when you hit rock bottom, there's only one way up, isn't there? There's only one way from there, unless you're going to get out a rock drill and start making a bigger hole,
Right, and don't live in that pit of despair. Mm-hmm. It sucks down there.
Yep, you move forwards. Move forwards is the way. Do not let your mistakes, your problems, past events that have hurt, and don't let them define you. Don't let them define you. Move forwards from there. And if you identify, well, that's good, and this is how you get the best out of somebody as well. You don't just turn up and just point out their faults to them all the time. Oh, you're a bag of crap. Look at this. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, look at you.
But I think you also
because they'll just be crushed.
But you also can't just let somebody get away with half-assing it either.
Oh, no. Well, that's why I say we're kind of inspirational, Yeah, we can be hard to work with. I mean, particularly, I have ridiculously exacting standards, Well, I'm frightened to do it because I may not do it right. Okay, so what does that mean? We're just going to stand at the side of the road and never cross? It's just Emmett is chiming in. Emmett says just jump at it and rip it to the ground and shred it.
I think I'm going to sneeze again.
You're allergic to me.
Oh, my head is itching. Excuse me, people.
it's, you know, I think to move forwards from any traumatic event, from anything that's been very difficult in your life, there's one thing you absolutely have to accept, is that there is a way forward. If you don't, you're going to be stuck there for life. You have to, you know, you have to accept that for every problem, there is a solution. And Lisa and I often say, you can fix anything but dead, you know? It's a bit late then, to be honest. So, you know, next lifetime. And as we can only necessarily relate to this one, it's probably better to take some action. Right. Take some action right now. She is allergic to me, I'm telling you.
You have no idea how itchy my poor face is right
Maybe you're allergic to cats. I keep saying this, you know, these are the things. So yeah, what you focus on, and it really is that brutal, what you focus on is what comes into focus. So we try to, when we're working with people, and
inspire
and get them to focus on something positive and something good. You know, I want to hang up in the store. You know, I want to put it everywhere I am. We must never spread bad news. Because it does. Everybody likes a good old gossip about this, that. Oh, you should have said. Oh, you've seen the state of that person. Oh, look at them down there. You know, what good is that? What good is that? You know, I think there's hundreds of inspirational quotes we can throw at you, but I don't want to be trite. You know, like brilliant people talk about ideas and concepts and things. Small people talk about people. You know. But talking about people who say, I really admire that person. Oh, your hair is beautiful. Oh, what a lovely blouse.
Oh, that's nice.
This is good.
But talking down at people.
Yeah, you know. God, look at it. I can't keep up with that. You know, people are participating, and I thank you. So, listen, we want to change the world in a little way. We've got big, huge plans to do that. Celtica is part of that. It's part of getting people to realize that they can, no matter where you're stationed in life, you can make a difference. And it's not somebody else's responsibility, it's yours. And that's where we want to be at. And so we started out saying our plans are to do that. We've got a comp has suddenly appeared that we're going to go and look at. Now this might be, you know, don't be so fixed on something that we talked about this the other day, didn't we? You can be so focused on one thing, you miss the thing that's even better by the side of it. So we don't want to be so obsessed with just, it has to be here, nowhere else will do, you know. If there's a place that presents itself that's even better, well, you know, we should take that lesson from the universe. We really should. So we've got something that has just appeared on the radar. We're going to investigate that, and we'll let you guys know how we get on with that. But you know, there's some fun stuff going on.
Card of the day.
Oh, do we got it? Are we there yet? Somebody's desperate to talk to us. So if you guys haven't checked it out yet, we wanted to talk to you as well today. Whilst lots of people are commenting about this, that, and everything else, we wanted to talk to you today about what would you like us to see on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, what would you like to see on the YouTube channel? We've noticed other people, and we've tried to kind of keep track of what other people are doing, some in our field and some not in our field. Like we've looked at successful YouTubers across the board, somebody who has a farm in Alaska and somebody who has an antique shop in Canada, and then we've looked at people who are doing similar things. And there's one station who put up a protection video yesterday and already has 14,000 views in 24 hours.
That's probably because they've got a lot more followers than us.
Right, but what do you want to see? What do you think would bring us?
How do we stop being such a well-kept secret? This is where we need to be at, you know? And we've got to, I guess, just continue doing what we're doing. Focus on it. Keep pushing the ball uphill until it gains some traction. You know, I mean, how long do you keep digging in your mind? You know, pulling out rubbish until you hit the seam of gold. You know?
Or the diamond.
Because it could just be one shovelful further, couldn't it?
No, endurance. You got to stick with it.
Yeah.
And again, you know, looking at people's comments about their life experience. Please don't think that I'm saying those life experiences don't count.
No,
they do mold and shape you, but they cannot be allowed to define you.
Yeah, do not let the bad stuff define you.
Yeah.
That's our tip.
They mold you, they shape you, they're part of your DNA, they're part of your memory, and they do affect how you move forward and how you think and how you create, but don't let them define you or stop you or be the last thing. They are only part of a long story of you.
Think, if you will, of the 10 of Wands. No, the 9 of Wands. Is it the 9 of Wands or the guy stood up by the side? He's 9 or 10?
The guy with the bandage on his head is the 9.
The 9.
The guy with the burdens is the 10.
Well, yeah, but the 10 applies also. So the 9 of Wands, sorry, I'm trying to think of the cards in my head. We'll probably pull that one today now. So think of the 9 of the Wands and think of there's a beautiful Welsh song which is truly anthemic in its nature. And if I murder
in the 80s, I thought it was much older.
Oh gosh, no, it's 80s, yeah. But if I murder this, I apologise. But it's a and gwaitha pawb yn popus rinia yamo o hyd. In spite of everything and everyone, we're still here. And I think that's the thing, you know. In spite of all the knocks, in spite of all the cuts and bruises that you've acquired as you go, you're still standing. You know,
yeah, I mean,
and that's the key. That's the key.
In 2008, we left the UK. This economy was horrible.
We've been rogered, senseless, screw blued and tattooed by green landlord.
2009, 2010, 2011. I can't even tell you the amount of sleepless nights of.
There have been tears.
Desperation to try to figure out how we're going to keep going.
How are we going to keep a roof over our heads?
But
seriously.
Do you have a choice? Do you have a choice? No.
You.
Why is my computer doing this?
I don't know.
How bizarre.
I don't know.
La, la, la.
It's obviously decided I'm way too boring.
Yes. All right. Let's pull card of the day.
We should. We
have lots to get on with.
We do. But this is good, and I love the fact that people are chatting with us today. It's nice. Oh, look at this.
That's talking about the astrology.
This is cut through the crap, but also be kind.
All right.
Be kind. I'll let you go.
Today's reading for this card and the things that are going on with this new moon and all the harsh aspects to Uranus and Saturn and Mars. I'm not going to say don't have conversations, but I'm going to say don't be drawn into a heated conversation and say something that you cannot take back, right? Mm-hmm. Once words are spoken, even if you say you're sorry, they've been spoken. You can't suck them back in. So be mindful of how you are coming across today. I think it's going to probably be for this weekend. We usually do Friday's card for a few days. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of kind of hostile, aggressive energy. Don't get sucked into that. Be the calm in the storm for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Be the haven and just, respond with love.
Yep. Be the one who brings peace to the situation. Yes. Pam's saying, isn't he the messenger that rushes in? Yeah, but he's also the one who gets entirely the wrong kind of exercise, jumping to conclusions, flying off the handle, casting aspersions, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah.
Oh my God,
keep
I'm
your
so
head
sorry,
here.
people.
It's all good. Keep your head here. Don't allow you, especially. Yeah, Lisa says, words are like rocks. You can't unsay what you said. The wound has been done. You can smack somebody with a cricket bat and apologise. I think it's called Brocking and Ultra Cricket if you've read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah. However, better not to smack them in the first place. Right. Sometimes choose your battles. Choose when to engage. Astrologically, it's a very Martian time right now, and patience is and the opportunity for misinterpretation is strong. High. So better to be the beacon of hope and the voice of calm in a sea of, or the little place of calm in a raging storm of insanity, because there's all sorts of crap being thrown around right now. So it's up to you. You can make a difference here. It takes two people to have an argument. Don't engage. That doesn't mean what's wrong. Nothing. Because that's just exactly the same as going, everything, I can't stand you, why did I marry you in the first place? I'm just processing stuff. It's probably nothing. Just give me a little while and all will be good.
Yeah.
That's just, you don't
get
have
drawn.
to.
Don't get drawn.
So
that's your best advice for these next few days. Don't be drawn.
Nights are messengers. You're right. It's all about communication. So this gives the opportunity for heated communication.
But this tells you respond, do not react.
Correct. And the good news is this card also helps you cut through the crap. There is that,
get to the point.
Get it do it anyway.
Stop winding me up, telling me all this crap. Get to the point. What do you really want?
Yep.
And how can we handle this?
How do we fix this? How do we move forwards? Let's not just stand here and complain and vent for about 27 years, because that isn't going to fix a damn thing, is it? So listen, if you haven't yet, go check out the video that we just posted.
About the pottery.
The pottery.
We need to get some more hits on that.
So apparently I was told going potty doesn't mean what I think it means.
No, I said
in America, by a common language.
The only potty we understand is like potty training. So going potty doesn't.
No, that would be going to the potty or using the potty, and it's also got an IE on the end. Well, sometimes in that instance, but
apparently in England, going potty means
slightly
like
doolally,
going mad, going nuts,
slightly doolally, slightly, always a little bit potty, It's
not an expression we understand readily.
No, but it's an endearing term for slightly.
Oh, it's very endearing.
Nuts.
Yes,
it is. It is.
Anyway,
it's true. It's true.
We may or may not see you for a box opening.
Depends whether we get any boxes.
Exactly. And we'll definitely be back on Monday morning for Elevensies.
We will. But please do pimp our channel all over the place.
Please, we need to make that
do us a favour. Go to that video, the pottery one or whatever, or even our channel, and share it on your Facebook page, or share it on YouTube, or share it on Twitter, or do
wherever
something.
Else you can share
You can make a little difference. You can be the one that suddenly somebody goes, oh, you should see this, and they like it so much they bring somebody else, and they bring somebody else, and before you know it, we're not just like us against the sodding world. We've got some traction because we think a lot of people would love to align with what it is that we're trying to do, but we need your help to make that happen. So
line them up.
So please, make it happen for us. We'll do our best too. We're not just going to sit here. When will I be famous? Well, what are you doing about it? That's it. What are you doing about it?
And Eloise says, so going potty doesn't mean being a shithead. Who knew? And Felicia says, I love you guys.
Oh, well, that's just blown our PG rating there, but never mind.
All right.
No effing swearing, I keep telling you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you soon. We might make a video over the weekend. You never know. We'll see what happens. There'll be something out probably next Wednesday.
So much fun. If we can think of something, we'll do it.
All right.
So, but thank you so much for watching. You guys have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Thank you for taking the time to join us this morning.
Yes.
To shamelessly rip off whoever it is. What's his name? Ari Melba?
I don't know. Where are you going?
You could be anywhere, but you chose to be with us, and we thank you for that.
Oh, Ari Melba, yes.
Yes, I think that's sweet. I like that. I think that's what an endearing term. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it.
Don't get sucked in. Don't be a victim.
Yes, indeed.
Peace.
All right. Be epic. Have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. Be blessed. Be well. And